Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Franklin and Douglas, where we talk about current events and give you bad advice. I'm Franklin, and with me, as always, is my buddy Douglas. Double D, how is it going?
Buddy, are you talking to me? It's going great. Ooh,
Okay, it's a little different from you. You sound a little under the weather. Is everything okay?
girl, I don't know. So let me tell you about
Please
my
give me the
week,
tea.
because my sister-in-law, God bless her heart, made me go out to the
Love
plant
her.
store. Yeah, love her. We do love her, actually, on the show. We decided to, and this also is going to bring up another topic for me. We decided to go out in public to the plant store because I don't know if our listeners go through the same thing, if anyone else has a plant addiction, but it feels like eventually you have to move small plants into bigger pots. So that was our plan. We're gonna get stuff to move to so they can grow and get bigger or whatever. And
Okay.
so now you're left with empty smaller pots, and like a normal person just like, oh, I'll just throw these away or put them away because I already have plenty of plants in the house. But no, your brain is like, no, something needs to go inside this pot. So it's like a vicious cycle, because then those plants get big, you put those in bigger pots, and then you got small pots again. Next thing you know, you're like in a jungle in the house.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you do have a lot of plants, a lot of greenery. I don't know how you keep it up because remember that plant that I took a picture of and sent you? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's dead.
It's a
So now I just have the pot.
see, now you need to put something in it. Yeah, I know. If I turn, so like this one here is in a new pot now. This guy down here is
Mm,
still like he's doing his thing,
okay.
but then that brings me to our question, because I was out in public. I'm pretty sure I caught something from those filthy humans out there,
Ooh.
and I have been so tired. I've been sleeping like every minute that I'm not working or doing something. So I'm pretty sure my
Mhm.
body's like, girl, just take a day off.
Okay. Yeah, that's what happens when you go out in public. Start licking handrails.
Right? Doorknobs, handrails.
Exactly. That's crazy. That's
uh,
crazy. Well, hopefully you will get some rest over the weekend and be able to get back to your bright and cheery self.
I'm gonna try. How did your week go?
You know, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
First week back of the new year, and just a lot of now inventory prep
Mm.
and just the weather. Oh my God, it has been so cold and rainy. And thankfully, I knock on wood. Doot, 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 I haven't gotten sick.
Yeah.
You know me, I take a bunch of meds, a bunch of vitamins, herbs,
Whatever Dr.
minerals.
Phil sells you on TV,
Exactly.
or the My
And so
Pillow
far,
guy.
the pillow guy, put it over your face.
Urgh.
Yeah. But other than that, it's been pretty good. Can't complain. Like I say, the new year has started off with a bang. And so, you know what? Let's get into the week. Why don't we?
Right.
Do 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 do. Boom.
I will say, you're talking about being cold. It's funny because in a lot of the US whatever, and we've got, people that listen all over. It's like we've been having heat waves in places where we're
Mm,
not supposed to be having heat. Like we reached like 60s here the other day, and that's not normal for this time of year. And then you're like getting
wow.
cold in California. It's like, end times, girl, end
Right.
times.
Right. So yeah, it has been very, very strange. And hopefully this week we can get a break from all the rain. So
Hmm.
like I said, but it's still been very, very chilly. I think I sent you a screenshot. I was like, it's like 40 degrees.
I'm like, that sounds like a heat wave right there.
For you guys. Yeah,
Right.
definitely, definitely.
Uh,
So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this crazy week that we had at the start the 2026 year.
yeah.
It has been absolute chaos. And so I thought we would just kind of get a couple of things together that have happened this week. And so it has, let's see, murder in Ohio, chaos in Venezuela. Yeah, Ohio always. Chaos in Venezuela and a missing teacher in Chicago. Now, all of this feels like the first 10 minutes of a Netflix true crime doc, but it's not. It is real life, and it is very disturbing, scary, all in one. So let's get into it. First and foremost, Columbus, Ohio, a couple, young couple. And first of all, when they describe this couple, they always have to say dentist and his wife. Did you catch that at
I
all?
didn't catch that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, thanks. I'm glad he's a dentist. But at any rate,
She has no
police,
career or life
she
outside of
has
him.
nothing. No, she's just at home. Well, she's not now. But at any rate,
Oh my God.
police, that's horrible, I know. Police in Ohio this week discovered a married couple, Spencer and Monique Tepe, both shot dead in their home. Thankfully, their two young children, a young boy, 1 year old, and their daughter, 4, were not harmed. But they were still in the house with their parents who had been unalived, as everyone likes to say. No suspects, no clear motive, just a family ripped apart and this whole unanswered question. Now, this one is very, very strange. And I had some thoughts about it because, first of all, they didn't have any ring cam, although now the police do have a ring cam from a back alley from their house, from someone else's home, showing an individual walking in the alleyway during the time that this, murder took place. But the family itself didn't have any cameras, any, ring cam. I have cameras inside my home. And, it's just, it is strange. It really is. No forced entry. They just came in, killed him, and left. Now, there are some other stories that are saying that she had an ex-husband that was, they had a restraining order against. But either way, it's very, very shocking, very sad that this young couple lost their life and that their children will be without their parents. But my thought is, could they have been swingers? Because, and I'll give you my thought. Why?
Oh no.
Yeah. A couple of months back, there was a 911 call that came from the house. Now, everyone thought it was the wife, Monique, but it turns out it was someone else in the house. Apparently, they were having a party, and everyone said that their parties kind of got a little, out of hand, and people start drinking, and, things happen. And so someone from the house made this 911 call and saying that they were in a dispute with their husband. It was very strange. So I'm thinking like, okay, who is calling 911 from a party,
Right.
And so it was very weird. So I kind of was thinking, okay, could this have been a swinger, a threesome that went wrong? Somebody, had a relationship with one of them. They invited them over. It didn't go like they planned, and pop, they're gone. And somebody just walks out because there's no forced entry. They just came in and left.
Right.
So yeah, I think there's more to this story than, obviously the police can't say a lot right now as it's still an ongoing investigation, but it is very interesting. And I've been keeping up on all of the, little, news drops and everything that has been going on. But it's very, very sad because these two young kids are now without their parents. And hopefully, they didn't see them. And even though they're very young, they don't have a memory of what they saw. I mean, probably the 1 year old was probably still in a crib. But either way, now they're without their parents. They have, obviously other family members that are taking care of them. But this one is very strange. And so we're going to continue to keep an eye on that. And in the spirit of our show, as we always do, we want to give you terrible advice, but sometimes,
Oh, no.
real life walks in and ruins the vibe. So
Right.
I think for now, we will just kind of refrain from this terrible advice on this one. And hopefully they do find out what happened
Oh
to
my
this
goodness.
couple. Yeah.
I like the thing for like me too, like reading about this story, because I'm in Ohio. I'm pretty sure I've said that many times.
Right.
But the his work called for like a social check,
Wellness
whatever.
check. Yeah.
And the police came, knocked, nothing left. Like the friends had to come in, and the friends looked in the window. I could see bodies laying on the floor. It's like, what were the police
Right.
doing? Like, if people are
So,
like worried, they're not going to look in the windows or anything. Like,
well, what happened, I'm glad that you brought that up.
hmm.
Apparently, when they did do the wellness check, they went to the wrong house. They
Oh,
went
I
to the
didn't
next,
know that.
yes, they went to the house next door,
Oh,
knocked on that door, and nobody answered, and that's when they walked away. So apparently, that's what happened. And then their friends and everybody else came back to the house and ended up seeing them and calling the
oh,
police back. But yeah, there was a video showing the police officer going to the house next door. You can see him. You can see the house that he was supposed to go to in his body cam, and the house
hmm.
that he went to, knocking on the door and then calling it in that, hey, nobody's here. Nothing's going. I don't see anybody.
Well,
And that's
then
what happened with
my
that.
next question is where are those people? Where's the
Right.
neighbors at?
They weren't home either.
Mm.
So, maybe they were at work or
Yeah,
on
yeah.
vacation. This was the end of the year that this happened, right before New Year's, like on the Tuesday, the 30th,
Hmm.
right before New Year's. Maybe they were out of town. Maybe they were gone. But it was very strange that there are no ring cams around in these areas. People don't have these ring cams. I have a ring cam.
Shoot, I'm
But yeah,
staring out my door seeing what all my neighbors are doing, let alone a ring cam.
right. Looking at the people.
As soon as the cops
But
walk by,
yeah.
like, are you here for Betty? Because I saw she did not
Hmm.
take her trash out and separate
She
the
does
recyclables from the
separate the
regular. So I hope
okay,
that you're here for her. And they're just like,
HOA
sir, get back
fines.
inside. Yeah.
But yeah, that was what, kind of happened. Everybody was looking for them because it was out of character for them not to be, answering the phone or coming to
Hmm.
work on time, at least for him,
Right.
and just, being responsive and opening the door or, answering anybody. So that is what happened with that couple. Very unfortunate.
Yeah.
So, and now let's move across. Let's go to Chicago because that's a little
Ooh,
close. All right. Let's go out to Chicago,
Chi-Town.
Chi-Town, the Windy City, my second home. And so in Chicago this week, a CPS teacher disappeared. She left apparently to go for an appointment, to an acupuncture appointment. And her husband says she never showed up to the appointment, and now she has just disappeared. So the funny thing about this whole thing was he looked very suspicious. I think I sent you the information. And I was like, listen to the comments, read them all,
Hmm.
because he was giving off, as everyone's saying, Chris Watts got vibes. He was just like, oh, I want my wife back, and
Yep.
she's just disappeared, and it just didn't seem genuine.
Hmm.
He just seemed like very suspect, right? And it's unfortunate that we have to go to that. But of course, the spouse is always the first suspect, right?
Right.
Well, apparently, what he states is that they were had a dinner, or they were together on Friday. She was supposed to go to an acupuncture appointment the next day. He gets up, she's already gone, and now she's just disappeared. Well, it now, as we are getting more information, it sounds like she was gone longer than just the Friday.
Oh.
Apparently, now they have found her car parked on near a park where a bridge, a pedestrian bridge kind of walkway kind of thing. So they
Hmm.
found her car near there. They have video of her, just her, not her husband, nobody else, walking towards the bridge. So now we're thinking, oh, did she jump?
Right.
Or did she just, walk off and just decide to leave her life behind? They're also saying that she has had a lot of, challenges, mental challenges, and she was going through a lot. Apparently, she has been out on medical leave from her job and was supposed to be going back this coming week. And so a lot of things are, circling about why she just disappeared.
Hmm.
But the first and the most thing that everyone thought was that it was her husband, that he, did something to her. Because if you look at all of the interviews, he just looks so dry, just looks, like, oh yeah, I want my wife back, please. It was
Yeah.
very strange. And so people were questioning his motives and things like that. So, but for this one, this is not as devastating as the other one. She has vanished. She, everyone is looking for her.
Hmm.
She, apparently she was a teacher as well, for working for with kids and things like that. That now has, some challenges of her own, and she's disappeared.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that maybe she will be found safe and will be, reunited with her family, and the kids who are missing her as well. But for some bad advice, because it always happens, if you're ever late for an appointment, don't text that you're running behind. Don't text, everybody like, hey, I'm running late or anything like that. If you don't hear from me, you don't hear from me. I'm sorry. Okay. I know you'll be traumatized because you freak out, if 30 minutes has gone by and I haven't
Hmm.
contacted
I've
you.
already called your local police, my local police. I've called the priest, the rabbi. I call everyone.
Everybody, everybody. But yes, I think that this one is going to be something that's going to be talked about for a while. I'm hoping that she is found,
Hmm.
and that that she's okay and she hasn't harmed herself in any way. But it's very interesting. She just disappeared. There is no, and again, no surveillance.
Yeah.
No, they see her getting out of her car. They see her walking towards the bridge. But now they have started looking, in the water and things like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, she's not there. She's gone in the
It's
wind.
funny because it's like people talk about, oh, we're in a police state, everyone's watching us, but then you come to a situation like this, it's like, okay, well, someone's not being watched at some point.
Right. Yeah. So I'm like, there is a spot that you can hide, you can disappear. But yeah, that's strange that she has just vanished like that. And now her family is looking for her.
Hmm.
So
Like we said too, like the interview with the husband, like we've had instances in the past where the husband did it and they get interviewed and they're just no tears. They're just like, yeah, my wife's gone. Like, I'm really
yeah,
sad. By the way, I'm going
yep,
out to Chili's with this chick this weekend. But
exactly.
and this guy had like all the same MO. So, obviously everyone's first reaction is to jump on this guy and be like, oh, he did it. But yeah, but
Hmm.
at the same time, if it's been longer too, like, why is he just now saying something? And,
Right, right. Yeah,
I
and
understand
again,
those acupuncture like reservation fees are steep. So I get it. Like if you want to get out, I would rather just disappear and be like, oh, well, I can't even pay it because I'm not even here anymore.
okay, I don't have to pay, the no-show charge.
Yeah, yeah.
No. But yeah, it was just strange. Like the story is obviously developing and changing and everything.
Hmm.
But I thought, again, I could be incorrect, but I thought they said that they found her car. They maybe said that they found her car Wednesday, but I thought it was like that she had parked there on Wednesday. So it
Yeah.
could be, I've got my facts a little bit wrong. But either way, they did
Mm.
find her car, and they do see surveillance of her walking towards the bridge. And what was even more strange is that they said it was at 3 o'clock in the morning
Ooh.
that she was there. So again, okay, why isn't her husband up, or how did she get out the house without her husband knowing that she left out of the house at 3 o'clock in the morning? What kind of acupuncture appointment is that? Hmm.
The best kind, the back alley kind.
Oh my goodness. Yes, indeedy. So I don't know, but this one is still developing as well. So we got,
Yeah.
two other stories that are developing. Now, let's get into what your president,
Oh
Mr.
God.
Donald J. Trump, did as well. Now, Venezuela.
Mm.
So Big Donnie decides that he's going to invade Venezuela, snatch up their president, and basically just take over the country.
Right.
So this happened right before the new year. It was like what it was like on a Saturday or something, or either way,
Yeah.
they went and bombed Venezuela, swooped up the president, and brought him back to New York City, and is putting him on trial for what? I still don't know. But
I don't think any of us know.
I don't know. I mean, I sent you a meme. Remember Dave Chappelle? Oil. What you
Right.
talking about oil?
Are you
You know,
cooking something?
bitch, you cooking? But yeah, this is crazy. And then everybody is always like they're saying, America, that was wrong. What if we came to your country and took your president? Everybody's like, come on, take him,
Please. Here you go.
please. He is here, giving pinpoints of where he is in Florida.
Right.
He is right there. Pick him up. But this all is very crazy. Now, apparently, this president is in the same jail as Luigi and Diddy. Who else is there? This jail is like
It's
the
like
top jail
the
for
who's
everybody
who is in there,
of everybody that is supposed to be there. So yeah, he's in the same jail as Luigi and Diddy and everybody. And so yeah, it's just he just invaded Venezuela, and so we've all been on pins and needles. It feels like World War III may break out at any time.
Yeah.
This has been something that has been very nerve-wracking and disturbing, to say the least. Obviously, nothing that he does is surprising now. It's just another day. But this all happened within a week of us starting this brand new year.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what else is going to happen? And I told you, keeping my kits together, my doomsday kit, making sure that I have everything, water, spam. So when it does, the grid does go down, we have it. I have to send you a walkie-talkie that hopefully we can reach so that we can talk
All the way
back and
across
forth.
the continent. Okay.
Yeah,
Remember those
we can have.
phones back in the early, I think it's 2000s, the one that did like the little chirps, like boop, boop, and you would talk to each
I
other?
think they still. Yeah, I think they still have
Do
those.
they?
What was it called?
Don't
What
remember.
was that called? I can't remember that either. But yeah,
Let us know in the
that was.
comments.
Yeah, let us know. What was that? I can't remember. I do remember that. Bloop bloop. Yeah.
Because you'd
So
be
that's
out
what
in
we're gonna
public
get.
and you'd hear that little chirp all the time, and all of a sudden, like, yeah, no, I have a yeast infection. Boop, boop. And then, it's like, oh, okay.
So yeah, that's exactly what we'll get,
Okay.
so that we can still do the podcast somehow or another on each other. So you know what? That's what I had for the week. I think that was enough. I mean, we're just only 9-10 days into the new year, and already it's been a lot going on, and I'm pretty sure a lot more will be happening, the next couple of coming weeks. But what do you think of all of this last couple of weeks and all this, last couple of days rather,
Yeah.
of all this stuff that's been going on? I mean, this is pretty crazy, and it's like I say, only 9 days into this new year.
It feels like the longest year ever, and it's only, like you said, we're only like 2 weeks in at this point, and I'm already tired
Right.
of 2026. I mean,
Exactly.
it
It is crazy. Yeah, it's just been a lot. I mean, like I say, all jokes aside, this was a heavy week.
Yeah.
This family, in Ohio has been lost. You got the whole country stuck in survival mode, and with this missing teacher, her loved ones are waiting for answers. People, it's like people are done. We're
Yeah.
over it.
Right. Right.
It just feels so. Even we were talking about how the holidays passed, and I was like, was it still the holidays?
Yeah.
It was just very blah, just not in the spirit that we wanted it to be. But
Yeah.
here we are.
I miss when the world was so boring. I miss when nothing went on and we were just like, whatever. Like,
Right before COVID. I'm telling you,
Oh.
whatever happened with COVID, that's when we all just started going downhill. Wasn't he our president back then too?
we don't talk about that, apparently. They
Oh,
still think it was Biden was president or something.
oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, but at any rate, yeah, it has been now it's 5 years, going in 6 years now, where it just has not felt like the same again. I already told you, I'm in one of those rabbit holes that I think that we died. We're all living in some sort of parallel universe.
I mean,
But
if this is death, I mean, what the hell? This must be hell, I
It
guess.
is, I was gonna say, it's like if this is death, it is hell. It really is. But you know what? We still have our health. We're still alive, and we'll keep pushing as much as we can until we get taken out. by, by something. I don't know. Do you ever think about that? Do you ever think about your last time or what death might be like? I know we're just now traveling on a
I know
dark
we're
path right
getting
now.
deep all of a sudden. Ooh, girl, I didn't even bring my tea. I don't know if I think about death, but I think a lot of like how I'm gonna die. Like, and and
Right.
this like all mixes into like me like being afraid to go outside and I'm gonna get attacked by everything. Not necessarily
Uh-huh.
that bad, but I'm just like, you see people that get or hear about people that get murdered or disappear, and it's just like, am I gonna go that way? Is someone gonna murder
I
me?
know.
Like, or am I
Right.
just gonna go naturally? That's more what I think about. Like when I used to live and work in the San Francisco Bay Area, all the time when we'd be stuck in traffic on the bridge, I'm like, is this my time? Am I gonna
I know.
plummet down into the water while I'm
Right.
stuck on the bridge kind of thing? So I don't know if that's healthy or not. I should probably speak with that with my therapist, but
I think you should as well. But I think about the same thing too. I don't want to a painful death, but I also don't want to die, where you don't know that the person's dead in the home and it's just been
oh
there for like years.
yes.
Although thankfully you'll, like I say, 30 minutes without talking to me, you'll have somebody over. So,
Right. I'll be calling
but no.
everybody in that neighborhood.
Right. And so then I'm thinking about, oh crap, I've got to make sure I keep my place clean because when they all come in, they're like, dang, she was filthy. Look at all this trash and everything, you know. And you always you hear your mother. You remember how your mother would tell you always wear clean underwear because you
Yes.
never know what might happen.
Right.
So,
I
but
think
yeah,
a
I
little skid
do.
mark on my underwear will be the
Oh my God,
last thing I'm worried
they'll be
about at that
talking
point.
about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll be talking about it. Hey, this dude shit his pants, man.
He was brutally murdered, but I mean, look at his underwear. What the hell?
Underwear, dang. Ugh.
Do a little extra wipe next time. My goodness.
Oh my God. Okay. Jeez
Off the
Louise.
rails, off the rails.
Sorry, people. Sometimes we just forget that we're doing something and we just have our conversations.
Right, right.
But yeah, that's how it is. I mean, just two of us talking. So at any rate, that's what's been going on this week. And so with all of that, what do you have for advice for us tonight?
Well, as always, I want to remind our audience that
As always.
as always, we are not trained professionals and our advice should
No.
not be taken seriously. But what qualifications do we have, Franklin?
Well, we survived the Castros too for one night, and we didn't get kidnapped by that man in a van. Although, looking back at it, I think we should have. We might have had a better life.
Might have cut us off from a lot of grief.
Yeah. And with that, we are able to lead you through life's challenges. Hit me with it.
Well, this week we got questions from Reddit's Am I the Asshole category.
You are.
Thanks, buddy. Our last parting words, and it's going to be, you're an asshole.
You're an asshole.
Boom, boom. And we also have another category I'll be bringing up is the Ask a Manager category, because I know you're a manager, and I thought we could get some of your advice on some workplace drama.
Oh, let's do it. Come on.
So if you have any questions you want us to answer on the show, feel free to let us know, comment, what have you. People have been joining my Discord. So you're more than happy to ask in there. Maybe we'll do a little category in there. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, look at you.
But let's start off with the Ask a Manager question. So they go on
Okay.
to say, my coworker told everyone we're married. We're not even dating. And I was like, when I read that title, I'm like, that seems really familiar.
Yes, it does.
So they go on to say, last year I left on a leave of absence for a few months to take care of my elderly parents. Then I returned to work. Apparently, during that time, one of my coworkers began telling people we were married, not as in work wife, but as in legally married. And everyone
Wow.
believed him. Insane.
Okay.
So honestly, I had no idea he had any feelings for me, and I don't think he knew I would be coming back. I'm an introvert, right? I'm an introvert. I keep my personal life private and don't talk much about myself. But the fact is, I have a husband, not him, who I've been married to for 10 years.
What?
Right. Not
Oh, so
one.
she never even told anybody that she was already married.
I mean, like, and I get that too. I don't want to tell anyone my business. Like,
Exactly.
we're just here for work. Goodbye.
Thank you.
So, not wanting to cause him embarrassment, I privately went to our boss, explained the situation behind closed doors, and asked for a department transfer. Even though he's never
Mm.
sexually harassed me or made a move on me, I'm very uncomfortable being around him right now, and I don't want any contact with him. My boss agreed, said she would speak to him, and though she didn't have the authority to move me to another department, she would see to it that we wouldn't be put on a team together, and kindly offered to adjust the schedule so he wouldn't be in the office at times when I was there. Ooh,
Hmm.
that's a lot. So they go on to say, I've tried to handle this whole mess as discreetly as I can, but today I lost it. He walked into the break room while I was in there, and I basically yelled at him in front of everyone. They're saying I'm not his wife and to stop telling people we're married. I know this was not the most mature way to handle the situation, but I was at my wit's end. What do I do?
Okay, well, it sounds like we're missing a whole bunch of stuff in there, but
Yeah, it's
first
not
of all,
a lot
yeah,
for such a small paragraph. I agree.
right, right. First of all, the manager that she reported it to handled it incorrectly because she trying to transfer her to a different department and different things like that. Uh, I think they should have brought him in. Everyone should have discussed it together or separately and just got both statements or, and figure out what happened.
Hmm.
Because again, him making up these fantasies, this elaborate story saying that they're married and she's already married to somebody for 10 plus years.
Right.
That's scary, right? And then for her to then go off, I guess, in the break room and nobody understands. Now they're just thinking, no, they just got a marital dispute going on,
Right.
domestic violence situation going on. And so, yeah, I think it got handled all incorrectly. I think that he should have been definitely brought in and talked to about it, possibly written up, possibly, even let go. I don't know. But for me, handling something like that, you have to get all sides of the story. And, obviously, I think he's a little special in the head. And he'd have made this fantasy life up with this woman. So who knows?
And then told other people about this fantasy too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, we're married.
Right.
Like, what happens at like the next like company picnic, whatever? Like, oh, where's your wife? Kind of thing. And
Okay. And she shows up with her husband,
right,
her real husband.
right,
Oh, we have a thruple.
right. You one of them
Right.
alternative lifestyles, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Uh,
Weird. That is strange. It's very strange.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole work wife, like work husband thing. I think that needs to be consensual. Like you and you
Right.
joked around about that, whatever. But yeah, just
Mm-hmm.
to go around, just start telling people, oh yeah, we're married. It's just weird, creepy, and
Right.
I guess she's trying to be, I guess, as kind as possible, but like you're still in the same company. Like if this does not
Right.
get addressed, he could still potentially go on and tell people, even though you're in different teams or what have you, that's still going around the workplace. You know how people are in the workplace too. They like to talk. So
They do.
it's
They do.
I get what she's trying to do and trying to be diplomatic, what have you, but it would just snowballed from there, even if she didn't blow up
Mm-hmm.
at him at that time.
Craziness.
Mm.
Crazy.
So the next one is, am I the asshole for being furious that my husband gave away my sake and wine after I told him repeatedly not to? So they go on to say, you know what sake is, right?
Of course I do.
Okay.
The Japanese drink. It's alcohol.
Duh, it's alcohol. You should know.
Exactly.
So they go on to say, I, a 30-year-old female, came back from Japan about 2 months ago and brought home an expensive bottle of sake I specifically picked after doing a sake tasting class. I'm not a big drinker, so I chose something I genuinely liked and that my husband would enjoy. It was meant for a us thing. I also had an unopened bottle of German wine that a friend gifted me 3 months ago. Ooh, she's fancy. They go on to say, my husband and I had multiple conversations where he asked if he could give the sake to his father, his cousin, or his friends, and I said a strict no every single time. Not vaguely, not jokingly, very clearly. He knew it was sentimental and partially a souvenir. He also refused
Right.
to drink the one time I opened it because he had a headache. So I had about 20 milliliters and left the rest untouched.
Wow. Okay.
Fast forward to 3 days ago, I'm away from home and he has friends over after a pub night. I didn't even consider that he would touch the sake or wine because we've had the don't share this conversation a million times. Well, the next day I asked him where the sake is. He casually tells me he shared the sake and the unopened wine with his friends and they finished everything. Everything.
People like that.
Right.
Oh my God.
Right.
There was nothing else for you guys to drink?
Right.
Jeez.
Drink the MGD in the fridge. What do you got to like tap into the expensive stuff? So,
Right.
she says, I was stunned, angry, disappointed, all of it. He then says he forgot that I told him not to give it to anyone, then adds that he doesn't remember unimportant stuff. Ooh, wrong thing to say.
This is a jerk. He's a jerk.
Bear in mind, I had even given him a bottle of whiskey specifically meant for his friends after I returned from my travel. When I confronted him about the sake and wine, he flipped it and said, don't let it spoil our relationship, and suggested I see a counselor. Ooh.
Narcissist.
Yeah. Am I the asshole for being this upset over something he claims is not a big deal, even though I told him explicitly and repeatedly not to touch it? I'm unable to process the fact that my husband casually crossed a major boundary and is nonchalant about it.
Nonchalant.
Rude and nonchalant.
Yeah. That is rude. And I think he did that on purpose because he kept asking, could he give it away? And she was like explicitly no. First of all, she should have locked it up and hid it somewhere because that was his intention all along, was to get it, to take it and drink it and whatever, or have his friends over. And for him to have his friends over and take it and drink it, nothing, and the wine as well.
Right.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, that's bogus, man. That's crazy. And yeah, I'd leave him. Pack up, leave him.
Were they asking like the divorce filings? Why'd you leave? A bottle of sake is why I left.
Okay, a bottle of sake. Exactly, exactly. So no, that's rude, and that guy is a jerk. I can't even think of anything else to say, but he's a jerk for doing that.
And like these stories and that, again, we don't know if they're made up or not, but these stories are like just like a little snapshot of their life. What happens, like if he's like this about this, like what is he like for other, like does he do the same thing for other like important things to her as well?
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, this one thing here is a red flag. Like I don't like people as it is, and this would definitely cement that for me.
And then that's what you're doing. That's crazy.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
Wow. Well, thank you very much for that.
Yeah, no, that's all that I had for this week. Sake to me.
Sake. Well, thank you very much for that, everyone. Appreciate all of the comments and all of the new subscribers and the new fans. It's really great for both Douglas and I to have these conversations and, just get out there. So it's always fun. This is just something fun for us, and we're glad that you are coming along with us. So thank you very much.
Oh my God. Every time, like I get all teary-eyed every time you talk.
You're so ridiculous.
Yes, thank you again, everyone, for the likes, subscribes, for the comments. Again, we greatly appreciate it. I'm getting Franklin out of her shell and like discussing more with people, so it's not just me answering your comments and then texting it to her and then her texting me back and then I respond. Like,
you're so ridiculous.
But honestly, we do love reading all the comments, and the comments actually do help us out to get the show out there. So we greatly appreciate it. And is there anything else you'd like to take us out on, Franklin?
No, that's it. You guys have a great weekend and stay safe.
True that. And bye.
Bye.